Hi, this is Julie with Beadaholique, and today I'm going to show you how to make this ring. It uses crystal clay, Swarovski Chatons, a ring finding, and some bead caps. And to me, it looks very vintage, so I've called it the Doris Day ring, and I'm going to show you how to make it in silver. So what you're going to need is you're going to need some bead caps. I've chosen these like spiky palm ones. You can actually choose whichever ones you like, but these ones give you a really nice kind of fun vintage look. I have some Chatons in pink, and then I have some white crystal clay. Crystal clay is a two-part epoxy clay. It's self-hardening, which means you don't need to bake it or fire it, and it's going to cure overnight. It's also very sticky, so you can actually just insert items into the clay and they're going to be grabbed and they're going to hold and they're going to stay there without needing an additional adhesive. So what you do is I've actually made a lot of projects out of this pack. It was a pack of 25 grams to begin with, and I've slowly worked my way down. So I have part B and part A. A is the color, B is the hardener, and I'm going to take equal amounts of both. And I want to end up with a pretty much like a large pea or a small gumball size amount. So I'm going to take my part A and I'm going to round it. I'm going to roll it into an approximate ball. Then I'm going to take part B, pinch off what I think is about the same amount, and roll it into a ball as well. The actual curing process doesn't start until the two clays are mixed together, so you have plenty of time. And it looks like I have a little bit more hardener than I do of my color. You want equal amounts. So that looks good to me. I'm going to put away my extra clay. I'm going to take my two balls and I'm going to squish them together. Now you might want to use gloves when you do this because it is something that you don't want to have really get on your hands too much. I am not doing a huge amount of this and I am going to wash my hands after I'm done, so I'm going to use my fingers. Also for the video purposes, it's a lot easier to see what I'm doing when I don't have gloves on, but you do want to take precautions, use gloves, wash your hands. So I am just kneading the clay, and you can see we have some modeling happening. The goal is to get rid of all the striations, so it's one solid color. It's going to take a couple minutes. All right, I'm happy with that. It's all mixed together. So now what I'm going to do for this particular project is I'm going to pinch off about a third of it. I'm just going to put that aside right now. Roll my remaining 2/3 into a ball. You have about 2 hours of work time with crystal clay, but what I do find is it does start to dry out, start to cure as you get further along in the drying process. So I like to try to do all my work within the first 20 minutes or so, 20 minutes to a half an hour. So you don't have to rush, but don't put this down and come back to it later. So I've put the ball on top of the glue-on pad on the ring finding, and I'm going to squish it down. I want it to create a nice dome. All right, so once that's secure on there, I'm going to pick up a bead cap and I'm going to insert it into the clay starting on the bottom outside edge, the narrow tapered part being inserted into the clay so the actual fronds, like the palm fronds, stick out, just like so. And you want to make sure that there's enough being inserted into that clay ball to really grab it. And I'm just going to go along the edge, pushing one in after another. There we go. I'm going to give them all a good push. And actually that's quite pretty the way it is, but I do want to add some more. So I'm going to just start putting them on the top. And with this particular size ring, I found I could only get 4 on the top. I couldn't get one in the center there. If your bead caps are a little bit different size, you might be able to get more on the top. But I could fit comfortably 4. And remember to squish them in there. You want to have a bit of that surface of that tapered part of that bead cap inserted into the clay. All right, so we've got our base, we have our foundation. It looks a lot like a starburst. So now I'm going to go back to that other ball of clay that I pinched off, and I am going to pinch off just a little, about the size of, oh, like a sewing needle, like those yellow sewing needle heads, about that size. And I'm going to make little balls, and I'm going to make enough to fit into each of my bead caps. I think I used 12 bead caps on my other ring, so I'm going to make 12 little balls. I'll have to double check that. These don't have to be perfect, they don't have to be totally even, they don't have to be the same size. What we're going to do is we're going to put these into the center of the bead cap, and then we're going to put the chaton into the clay to hold it there. So you just want to make sure that you're using enough clay that's going to be a good bed for that chaton. All right, I think I've got plenty there. Okay, so just go ahead, take a ball of clay, put it into the center, and it will grab, and then take a chaton, and I'm just going to pick them up because the ones I'm using are size 32 pp, so they're pretty big, and I'm just going to take that and press it into the clay. Just like that. And then I'm going to go around and do that with every bead cap. If you want to have a tool, I have like a head pin here. If you want something to help you push it in place, you can definitely do that. So that is what we got. Now as the final step, inspect your ring. Go ahead and make sure that the clay hasn't become lopsided as you've been setting these. And I would also recommend just going back and just pressing on the stones a little bit more to make sure that they're fully in there. And even if you wanted to, if you're using these bead caps, they do squish pretty easily with your hands. If you wanted to try and put another one in that center, probably won't be able to put a crystal on it, but you could probably fit one in there. And why not? Let's try for a crystal. That is the fun with crystal clay, is you can play. We're going to see if we can make this work. There we go. All right, so have fun with it, experiment, let the project lead you, and that is how you make a very vintage style looking ring using crystal clay, Swarovski chatons, and some bead caps.